Hello gamers, welcome back, or in case you are new here, I'm Enshrouded. If you clicked on this video, probably you have been playing and enjoying Palworld. I know, me and my group have. We have played quite a bit of Palworld, but sooner or later you'll find yourself in a situation when you explored all that Palworld has to offer, especially since it's in early access, so content is limited. In this video, I will be talking about other titles that provide a similar experience and you might enjoy if you enjoyed Palworld. Before we talk about all these games, I want to mention that I will not be focusing on the things that will be the same as in Palworld. For example, all of them will share very similar server structure and all of them will have survival, open world and base building elements. What I want to focus on is the differences and what might determine you to play these games. Alright, let's get into it. The first game that I want to talk about is Enshrouded. This is a game that, just like Palworld, has very recently released into early access. However, with the massive success of Palworld, its release was eclipsed and many people might not have heard of it. Unlike Palworld, you do not capture creatures in this game. Instead, you explore this fantasy world and fight against both creatures and bosses, as well as rescue survivors. The first element that makes this game stand out is the fact that you can carve into the world itself, like you would in Minecraft, but it has good graphics and the world is not made out of pixelated cubes. So it might be perfect for those that wanted a game like Minecraft but couldn't stand the pixel style. The second element that I think is outstanding is the base building. Personally, I think it is so far the best you'll find in these kind of games, from the options you have to the way different shapes and forms combine with each other. It is simply outstanding. There is still more to be improved on, like adding a lot more materials to build with. But if you are someone that enjoys spending your time building bases, this game will offer you more options than any others. The fact that you can carve into the world can also be used to build underground mazes or whatever else your imagination can come up with. Just like Palworld, this is a game in early access, so expect to encounter bugs as well as limited content. The next game that I want to talk about is Ark Survival Ascended. But before we talk about what this game has to offer, I feel like you need to be made aware of a few things, so let's talk about a few questionable decisions the devs behind this game have made. I will try to present the facts in an unbiased way, and you will have to decide for yourself if this is a deal breaker for you or not. Ark Survival Ascended is a remake in Unreal Engine 5 of Ark Survival Evolved. There are two problems with this. At some point, the developer stated that Ark Survival Ascended might be a free update to Ark Survival Evolved. Of course, this was not something viable and they should have never said that. But they did, and it understandably resulted in some people being upset. In the end, Ark Survival Ascended ended up being a completely new game that got released into early access last year, and as expected of an early access title, it came with bugs and a lot of early access problems. However, one big mistake the developers made was they stopped supporting Ark Survival Evolved. In my opinion, they should have continued to support Ark Survival Evolved until this remake was out of early access. This information is relevant because they are preparing to release Ark 2 towards the end of 2024. And considering this information, it might mean that in the future they will stop supporting Ark Survival Ascended and move on to Ark 2. With that out of the way, let's focus on Ark Survival Ascended and why, despite these concerns, I still included it on this list. Ark Survival Ascended is the dinosaur game. There is no other game out there that even comes close to Ark. If you want to explore a prehistoric world, tame and fight with and against dinosaurs, there is no other game that can provide an experience as good and as in-depth as Ark Survival Ascended. The way I see it, Ark Survival Ascended is a more serious version of Palworld, and you will be sure to lose yourself in this prehistoric world. Ark Survival Ascended also features the option to play on PvP servers. While this can potentially be an amazing experience, I personally think it falls short and there is a much better title for those interested in PvP in a survival game. Which brings us to the next title on the list called Rust. In my opinion, Rust is the go-to PvP game in the survival genre. If all you want to do is PvP, there is a massive community here. Personally, I do not believe Rust is outstanding in any of its individual elements, but it has very passionate developers that have continuously updated the game for over 10 years, and now it has a vast amount of content to explore and enjoy. A testament to how good of a job the developers did is the fact that it has garnered a massive community that, despite the repetitive and grindy aspect of the game, has stuck to it for so many years. I think there is not much point in wasting time and going into details about this title. All there really is to say is that if you are looking for a PvP experience, then probably this will be the best pick. While if you are looking for something else, the other titles in this list will be more suitable. Moving on. Maybe what attracted you to Palworld was the graphical style and the relaxed experience that can be enjoyed by all ages. After all, I think Palworld is a game that can be played together by both parents and children. Maybe for you and your group it is something that bridges the age gap. So if that is the case, the next title on this list might be of interest to you. The next game I want to talk about is called Grounded. In this game you take the role of a character that has been shrunk to the size of an ant, and you have to survive in your own backyard facing hordes of giant insects and other garden critters, while also following a pretty decent story and discovering interesting secrets. I think this game takes a more relaxed and casual approach to the genre, and it is the perfect game to enjoy as a family or a group of casual gamers. Please know that this game has a lot, and I mean a lot, of insects, so if you have any phobias related to insects, it might not be the best experience. But who knows, maybe it will help some people overcome those phobias. But maybe you are looking for the exact opposite of Grounded. Maybe you are looking for a game that is brutal. Well, I might just have the game for you, and it's called Conan Exiles. Just like the name suggests, it is a survival game set in the brutal universe of Conan the Barbarian. You are an exile and you need to fend for yourself in a barbaric wasteland. You'll find yourself fighting creatures, NPC tribes, and even legendary beasts, both using conventional weapons and even magic. You can raise pets, mount, and even capture and enslave NPCs, create massive settlements, and explore all the secrets of this world. There are PvP servers where you can wage war against others, and you can even capture and sacrifice players to summon avatars of various gods. Similar to Rust, this game has been out for a long time and there is a decent amount of content to explore here. Since we're talking about a brutal world, maybe you want to play the role of a villain. And in V-Rising you can do just that. In this survival game you take on the role of a vampire that sets out to wreak havoc in the human world. This is a top-down view game, but it does not feature the outdated click to move and instead uses WASD. It features interesting boss battles and an amazing world to explore from the perspective of a vampire. The vampire element is integrated in the day and night cycle, as you will be burned by the sun during the day and you need to travel in the shadows. This integration is seen even in the blood type of the creatures you fed on. Every boss you defeat will unlock a new power, and it will take you one step closer to becoming a vampire lord. This game can be enjoyed both on PvE and PvP servers, and in my opinion, the developers did a great job catering to both groups. However, it offers a different experience compared to the typical third or first-person game, so it might not be everyone's cup of tea. There is one last game on this list that I want to say a few words about, and it's called Valheim. This is a brutal exploration and survival game set in a procedurally generated purgatory inspired by Viking culture. I will be honest, I'm recommending this game purely on other people's opinion. This is the one game on this list that I have not played myself, so I cannot say much about what kind of experience it will offer or how good that experience will be. I simply could not look past the graphical style. However, I have heard so many good things about it that I felt it would be unfair to you the viewer if I did not mention this as a possible game to look into. I couldn't look past the graphical style, but maybe you can, and you can have an amazing experience with this game. These are 7 survival games that I think are worth checking out if you played and enjoyed Palworld. There are a lot of other survival games out there. If you think I missed one that might be worth checking out, feel free to let me and others know in the comments below. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe and all that jazz. See you in the next one, gamers.